Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome to White Rose Wednesday. I am your crafty girl, Shauna, working on some junk journals. Let's take some friends. I'm just going to tag whoever it will let me tag here. If you are seeing the red live button in the top left corner, we are live. Welcome to the live. If not, you're on the replay, and that's okay too. Just make sure you hit the hashtag replay so that we know you stopped by. All right, there's somebody. Hi, Deborah. I'm good. Hey, Christine. Let me know when you are here so I can welcome you. Having a little bit of some crazy tech stuff going on today. Hopefully it chills out a little bit. I didn't get a description in the box, but I will after the video. We are going to get some pages in this beautiful book today. And I always get so excited to put the pages in the book because I feel like that's when it becomes a book again. Or a book at all. This was a noodle box, so this really wasn't a book at all. But, you know, if you're breaking down those other books, I feel like once we put the pages in is really once they become a book again. So I did do, my lace did dry, and I added it, and I love it. I just love how it looks. Hi, Kathy. So this was the lace that I dyed with the Distress Oxide Bundled Sage. It was just white lace, and I put it all over an acrylic block and poured it on there. So I'm loving all of these colors together. I also put some Nuvo drops over some of the pieces of the clocks here, and it's had plenty of time to dry, so you can kind of see that glossy sheen. It just gives another texture and a little more added interest. So it's kind of what it's all about. Texture and interest, right? Hey, Sherry. Well, I hope you guys brought your coffee. It's Wednesday. So I have water and coffee, but my daughter made me coffee this morning. Loving it. Okay. So we have this, hey, Kay, good morning. Well, it's afternoon where you guys are. Good afternoon. For me, it's still morning. Okay, so the only real pages that we've put into our book so far, this is the inside cover, and we've added these envelopes here, so they are attached already. The rest of the pages are going to go in what's called a floating spine. That's why we put this elastic in here. It allows us to slide our pages in, and it surprisingly does hold. I was very much against this when I first started junk journaling, this method, because I thought, all the papers are going to fall out. What's the point? But as long as you do it right, they all stay in there. Good afternoon, Ashley. So now, whatever book you use, remember, I used a noodle box. So, you know, whatever your packaging is or your book base, your sizes may be different. So we have a little more than about 6.5 here to work with. And you want to make sure that your pages fit in between eyelet to eyelet or hole to hole if you're not using an eyelet. So you want your pages to rest comfortably in here. You don't want them rubbing up here and being difficult to turn and all that good stuff. So I've already cut these pages down because I didn't want to have you guys sit here watching me cut paper. That's no fun. So here, I'll give you one little peek what it will look like. So you can see that the pages really do just fit in here. There's a little bit of room, and they're not rubbing on the eyelets, and they'll be able to flip and turn, okay? So we're gonna build 2 signatures. The signatures, if you're not familiar with junk journaling, we've got 2 lines here that are gonna hold our papers, and the signatures are kind of like chapters, if you would, in a book. So it's just gonna be, and usually when you see the spines, if you can see the lines, these are normally on the outside of the book, depending on which way you bind your book, but very commonly they're on the outside of the book, I guess I should say, not normally. This is a floating spine, so these strings go on the inside this way. Usually, however many strings you can see is however many signatures are gonna be in the book. And you want to keep in mind when you're making your books that, hey, TC, that whatever paper you put in here, is going to be ×4 for the sides to decorate. So this is one paper, yes, but we have this surface, the inside left surface, the inside right surface, and the back surface, all to decorate. So if you put too many pages in here, it's really going to do this gatory thing that we all like to call it. Now, my books normally do wind up pretty wide and gatory. I don't let that bother me too much, but if you don't like that, keep your pages kind of to a minimum. And just remember that everything is ×4. So, you know, with this, and this spine is thin, and it's going to have 2 signatures. So what do we got here? Like a 1-inch spine, I think I said. Yeah, it's right about 1 inch. So, you know, we'll see how many pages we put in here. Now, this was coffee dyed paper. Living in Washington, I have to dry my paper in the oven because there's no putting it out on the lanai or the clothesline or anything like that this time of year. No way. Too wet and humid. So here's the papers that we have again, okay? I've got like some craft paper. This was just cardstock that I coffee dyed. This is some packaging that came in the mail. And you could coffee dye this if you want to. I'm going to stamp it and spray it with ink, so it's going to have its own little feel here. And then this is some writing paper that's black, so to write on it, you'll use like a metallic pen or a jelly roll pen, or if you don't want to write on it, you can just decorate it. I've got some papers from a ledger, and then I've got some black cardstock. Some more paper that I coffee dyed. This is just lined paper, and I left it, if I'm full disclosure, I left it in the oven a little bit long, so it is really kind of crunchy. It's not burnt, but it is just kind of crunchy, which is okay. It'll give us a lot of great texture and noise. And I already talked about this craft paper. So what I like to do for mine is I try to get the same ones in the same order. You can put them in any order that you want to. I love this texture here that I was able to get. So I want to make sure I put these things at the front of my signature. Hello, Sue. And then you can put them in any order that you like. One thing you'll notice about mine is that I like my lines to go horizontally. If I have lined paper, I like to make sure that it's easy for people to write on if that's what they want to do in my journals. Now you'll see a lot of people who use lined paper and it goes this way because a lot of times it's 8.5 by 11 paper, and when you fold it in half, it just gets really skinny. So they'll just put it this way, but that kind of drives me a little batty if I'm being honest. I'm normally not very like OCD, but I just have to have lines going the way I can write on them. I mean, you could totally write on them this way too. There's no real right or wrong, but for me, I just have to have it going horizontally. I don't know. So most of my books, that's kind of one of my signatures. My lines will almost always go horizontally, even if it makes the page a skinnier page, and so forth. So anyways, but the biggest thing about junk journaling, you guys, is that there's no rules. You just do what you want to do. So these are just base pages. And then I'm going to go in with that beautiful scrapberry paper, and we'll be putting all kinds of goods in here. Oh, 20 minutes before you have to leave for work. Well, I'm glad you're catching us, Sue. And whatever we're still working on afterwards, you'll be able to catch on the replay. Maybe not quite as fun as being here in person, but you know, gotta make it work. Let's see, we could put this on the front, but I still really like that. The coffee dyed paper, there it is. Where's the words? Okay, so I'm gonna put this in the center. And so I'm building two at the same time because we're gonna have 2 signatures. And remember, every paper we're putting in here is ×4 for sides to decorate. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We're already at 16 sides in each signature. Not that there's like a limit or anything. You can put what you want to put in there. But you just want to make sure you keep in mind how wide your spine is. And this one is not a very wide spine. I'm going to put one of those in there. actually. Maybe we'll break it up a little bit. So that's black on black on black. And here's your chance to kind of fiddle around, and you can, you know, see what things are going to look like when you start flipping. Is this the way you want the order? Is this what you want people to see when you get there? You know, like how do you want your things in the order of your journal? Hey, Eileen, thanks for joining us. Okay. Now, what did I do on this side? There, here, there, this one. And then we'll go with this one. And, you know, just because you get a bunch of things out doesn't mean you necessarily have to put it all in your signatures. Like I said, these are just your base pages, and then you'll still be getting to put things on afterwards. And if you know, especially with this floating spine, if you missed a page or want to add a page or something later, it's super easy to do that. So no worries there. Let's see, where do I want this one? Maybe we'll put it right in here. And you'll notice some of these are different lengths. Oops, this is super long. They're different lengths on this side here, and that's okay because you can fold them in, you can cut them off, you can decorate the edge. You can do all kinds of fun things with your edges, provided you didn't cut them all the way off. And I guess even if you did cut them off, you can still glue and add on paper. So, you know, like I said, there's just no rules, guys. It's so much fun doing junk journaling because anything goes. All right, we're just going to tear this piece off at the top here and make it match-ish. It'll kind of match. All right, there we go. So I got it folded better, and we're going to put it in here, right in front of this craft one. Now you can choose to do your papers all the same. You can choose to do them, you know, maybe you want to use all craft cardstock or all black cardstock, or, you know, maybe you don't want to use cardstock at all. Maybe you just want to use packaging that came in the mail, or, you know, you want to use your true junk. Like you could do a whole junk journal just out of envelopes, or just out of, you know, a magazine pamphlets or whatever. Hello. Yes, we are using this beautiful kit, and it is so amazing. I absolutely love this kit. Okay, so that gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 times 4 is 28, and 28 will have 56 sides to decorate in this little book if I stop here, and I think we're going to, because that's a lot. So then you just kind of gather them up like this. Yep, you didn't miss anything. We are just getting going. We're getting some pages into our book. And with the floating spine that we created last week, it's really easy to put these pages in. You just simply lift this up here once you've got them all to the right width for your spine. And they just slide in just like that. And then these other ones we'll put in just next to it. And then what's so cool about this type of a spine is that, you know, like I said, we can add pages, we can take pages away, we can take them out while we're working on them. Nothing is stuck in there because nothing is stitched in. So that is definitely an alternative to a pamphlet stitch. And I didn't realize the importance of that when I first started junk journaling. I thought, oh man, everything's just going to fall right out. And it doesn't, guys. It just stays in there. Now see all of this hangover? Like I said, we can do a lot with that. We can fold it in, we can cut it off, we can decorative scissor it, we can tear it, we can fold it like this to make extra little flips or flaps or whatever. And sometimes I just leave them there. If they bother you, feel free to just cut them evenly and move on with your day. But you can, you know, you can put a decorative trim on them. It just gives you a little more extra room to work with, to decide what you want to do. And like I said, if it really does bother you, you can go ahead and just cut them off. But you can see we've got about an extra inch this way on some of the papers. And so sometimes it's nice to fold it over and have a nice little tuck spot or whatever you want to do with it. Like this page, I might just fold in a little bit and we could have a cute little tuck spot just like that, and it'd be good to go. But, you know, that's just all stuff you can decide as you work in your journal. Okay, so I'm going to set these extra papers aside. We might use them later in the journal. But also what I have here is, and I'm so excited to use them, I found some CD or DVD envelopes. And I mean, really, why are these so exciting? But they are. Guess what we're going to do? We're going to make some shakers, and we're going to use our fun Stamperia rice paper to put on the window. And then we are going to use some sequins that are available in the White Rose Crafts website. Kay I just received some beautiful ones from Kay, and I need to use them. I just really do. So you can see this will go like pretty perfectly in here. I might even just trim it down just a little bit. And I think we'll still be able to see the sequins behind there. I'm hoping so. If not, we could use just these smaller ones. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll do the smaller ones. The smaller ones will allow us to see more of the shaky things. We'll do like this one and this one. So we're going to add these. And I already sized these up. Yeah, autocorrect. Doesn't know Stamperia. Get with it, Siri. Okay, so I already sized these a little bit. And by sizing them, I mean like I just took the little flap here and I put them on my other envelope. And without using their regular crease that's already there, it was going to stick out more than what I wanted. So I just made my own crease and made it to fit flush on this edge over here. So we're going to take some inks and of course get rid of some of this white, because you know white is just white. bright white. And then we'll put our Stamperia paper on the window. We will seal this up with some glue and maybe even some washi tape, and then it will be a shaker. How easy is that? Now, if you are someone who likes to sew, you can stitch the sides closed if you want to. I have been sewing recently, but I'm not going to do that today. Let's see. There we go. Okay, so let's get some vintage photo, and then I'm going to put some splashes of the bundled sage because it's really beautiful. And we're just going to ink this up. Whoa, and cause an avalanche up here. There we go. You can see already it happens quickly, even this large of a space. So we're just going to get some ink on here. And I've got some blue cardstock I'm going to put behind the window and like in the back of the window. But you don't have to. You could leave it white if you wanted to. A little bit of white would be fine. Or again, you could just ink. You could glue it on the inside. Yeah, I'm just going to put it on the outside just because. I want to put my shakery bits inside, and this rice paper has a beautiful texture to it as well. And you guys know me, I am a texture girl. I don't want to miss out on any of that wonderful texture. Now you could coffee dye these, but just one word of caution. If you are coffee dyeing these or some junk mail envelopes, remember however it is that you dry them, these ones cannot go in the oven. Or maybe they can. I don't know. I wouldn't put them in the oven because they do have this crinkly, like acetate piece, and it could melt. Maybe it wouldn't. I don't know. I just don't put those kinds of things in my oven. And all of my papers, especially this time of year, have to go in the oven to dry. And my kids think I'm crazy. They came in one day and I'm putting paper in the oven. My older daughter's like, "Mom, what are you doing?" I should have told her, "I'm making dinner. What's your problem?" But it wasn't that quick. I was like, what? What do you mean? What am I doing? I'm drying my paper. All right, so just go ahead and keep coloring here. And just an FYI, you guys, the White Rose Crafts has also created a YouTube. So you used all your Stamperia rice paper today. Well, I heard, I don't know if there's rice paper, but I heard there was an awesome delivery to Miss Kay from out of the country with some hopefully beautiful Stamperia stuff. So you'll be able to restock, I believe. And as often as I tell myself, you don't need more paper. You don't need more paper. Well, you know what? Beautiful paper makes it really easy to make beautiful things. 2 huge boxes. Oh, one from Stamperia and one from Poland. That would be like a Christmas morning heaven moment. When we get cardstock delivered to the store, the only person griping was the UPS guy, because the boxes were just so heavy. But I would put them in our storeroom and open the boxes and just stand there for a minute. And my husband's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I just love the smell of cardstock in the morning." He's like, "Oh, you're ridiculous." I'm like, "No, it smells so good." Truly a paper nerd in my lifetime. I don't know what to tell you guys. Here I am. Crazy paper nerd. All right, so like I said, you could do this more quickly if you just dip this in some tea or some coffee and let it dry. I didn't think that far ahead. Yeah, seriously, I just want to touch it and smell it and just enjoy the paper for a minute before it turns into anything else. Oh. 2 paper nerds in a pod there, Kay, we are. Okay. Yes, we love our paper. I always tell myself, I'm not going to buy more paper. I'm not going to buy... Yeah, who are you kidding? You're going to buy all the paper. Even paper I already have, I'm still going to buy it some more. I don't know. I'm just going to start putting paper bookshelves all around the house and line the whole house with paper. It's a good way to insulate. That's what I'll have to tell my husband. It's a new way how to insulate. I don't know if he'll buy that, but it's worth a try. Actually, he's pretty good. He doesn't give me too much grief. All right, so we're going to go ahead and just use some of this bundled sage ink. Now, if you have your refillers like this, don't forget to use them. You can use them, yes, to refill your inks, but you can use them like I'm doing here and just do some splatters. You can, hey, Laura, can use them for so much. And I just love that. When you spray the water on the oxide, look at all those different colors that have come out. Kind of that milky white color, that's the oxidization working its properties there. And then that darker green is actually our color. And we're just gonna flick all around. Now, also be warned, if you're making splatters, even if you think you've controlled it to just one area, you will find splatters all over, everywhere. So a splatter box is a good idea, or just, putting, see, there's splatter up here. Putting another piece of paper that you want to splatter behind it like this is a good idea. Whoops, I just dipped that one right in the ink. That's all right. That one's going to get a really heavy splatter. And you can also use another paintbrush and tap on this if you want to get bigger splatters. I'm just letting it splatter just a little bit so we get some hints of this green in here. And we'll do this one. Just let them trade places a little bit. Splattering is so much fun, but it is a little bit messy. So just be warned. I warned you. Okay, and that one, look, I dipped it in the back, but it looks really cool, actually. Maybe we'll do a little bit of that over here, too. Just... Hey, Linda! Hello to anybody else that I missed. I'm trying to watch comments, too, but sometimes I do miss some. So hello to you if you've arrived and I didn't greet you. All right. Like any other time I'm crafting, I'm already a mess, guys. So keep to hand some wet paper towel or baby wipe or a wet washcloth or something. Just always a good idea. Okay, and then with this extra ink, we can just kind of blot it anywhere that we want. Get some of that extra stuff there. And don't worry about your acrylic block because it does just wipe right off, provided you are using water-soluble inks. Now, I wouldn't use StazOn or anything like that here or archival because it is permanent ink. So That may not come off. All right. So that went relatively quickly. We've got, and I missed the edge. Look at that. I don't think I'm going to want it to look like that. We're going to put a little ink there too. Yeah, a toothbrush would totally work. Some people don't like how messy that it is, but I use the way that I was doing it today is very much like you would do a toothbrush. If you don't like to dip your finger in there, just grab your brush and another brush and just kind of tap like this. Tap, 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 and you will get it. Yeah, it just all depends on the sizes of the splatters that you want. And if you play with different ones, Tim Holtz also has a splatter brush you can use. You know, if you play with those, you can get some different ones. But also, don't forget, we have this. Let's check this out. Where did it go? We have this fun stamp that kind of has some splatters too. So let's give it a little bit of some stamps here. We can just add those in. Ooh, look at that. So this came in our kit and is really fun to use. Now some of this may get covered up in putting it into the book, but that's okay. This is Vintage Photo Distress ink that I'm using here. So we'll just add some of this all around, make it look fun. Okay. Love this. This is such a fun stamp. I love it. You can just add in your little splatters everywhere, and it just looks like so much fun. Yeah, the kits are gorgeous. Kay did a really good job of putting all these fun things together. Okay, so let's tear out these clocks. And here we go, scissors. Now on these, you could put whatever shape that you like. I'm gonna go ahead and use the smaller one here. And then this smaller one here. And you could put them on the inside if that's what you want to do of your little CD sleeve. Now the CD sleeve did not come in the kit, and that is half of the fun of junk journaling, is finding the little bits that you have around your house to add into your journal. So, you know, if you have some old CD sleeves hanging out, that's great. If you just have some old envelopes, that will work too. If you have your junk mail envelopes that come in the mail, those will give you that little window as well. Maybe not as big and round of a one. Hey, Lori. And you can use a water and a paintbrush to go around this edge and help you tear it a little better. You can use a water brush, or you can just simply tear it like I am. Either way. And the reason I'm tearing it is because I want to get rid of those harsh cutting edges. You can see this paper has some beautiful fibers, so I'm trying to pull those out just a little bit. Now I believe Kay said this junk journal kit is sold out. But she did also say that if you didn't get one, there are some items you can purchase individually. So definitely check out the White Rose Crafts website if you are interested in this. If nothing else, get some Stamperia rice paper. They are amazing. Yeah, and something is sold out, she said. Something's coming again. Yeah, the kit sells out super quickly, so you just have to keep watching the website, and there's also a blog for White Rose Crafts, and Kay puts all kinds of great information there. And then you can also message Kay directly, or you can ask in the White Rose Crafts gallery group here. So lots of ways to reach out to White Rose Crafts and see what's going on. Now I ripped this one just a little more than I had intended to, which we could glue it back on, but we're just not going to worry about it. It's just on the edge. All right. Now the hard part. What to do over here. I'm just going to make some little tears in here. And then hold my nail in place here. Make it so you guys can see. That would be good. And just kind of tear around. There we go. Now, if you are not a tearing kind, that's all right. You can cut around it, or you can just, I don't know. I guess those are your two options, cut or tear. You can't really leave it on the whole sheet unless, I mean, unless if you wanted to, but you wouldn't be able to fit the whole thing on this pocket, so. All right, I think the other design is a little easier to trim around. We'll see. Famous last words, right? Oh, that's gonna be so much fun. I'm loving that. What is this? I think I want that gone too, since it's mostly gone on the other side. So how's everybody's day going so far? I am 3 hours behind most of you. There we go. I'm just trying to figure out what kind of washi tape I might have nearby. If you get a piece that has a little bit of a stubborn piece of fiber, you can see that one's got like a really big fiber right there. I usually just kind of hold on to the fiber and let it do its thing, and then you can snip it with the scissors rather than fighting it and tearing it. There we go. Those big fibers are what make it really cool, though. The fibers are, you can kind of see them in the paper. Make the paper very cool and fun. And that's what gives you all these little frayed looks, too. More of a handmade looking paper. I love it. I just love the texture of it. Holding it in my hands is so good. Yes, and even tearing it. Can't help myself. Gotta tear it. Gotta tear it. And that is another thing that's super great about junk journaling, is that the torn edge is just awesome. Love it. Now the inside of our little CD sleeves is still white, but I'm going to slip a little piece of some turquoise cardstock back there, I think. Just kind of depends what you want to see more of. The white, I feel like my book here doesn't have very much white. It kind of has cream. So it's going to go. All right. So around this edge here, I'm not taking time to get in between all of the little shapes there. I'm just kind of grabbing one piece and pulling gently and letting the frayed edge speak to those little pieces there so that I don't have to, I guess it's like a way to cheat. So I don't have to take all those out individually. There we go. Some of that. And then I also like to use some of the ink around the edges. You can use wax, you can use gilding wax, you can use a pen or a marker, whatever is your method, or you can just leave it like it is, leave those fibers out. I'm just trimming a few of those longer fibers out. There we go. Perfect. And I'm going to go ahead and just put a little bit of this ink. This is just an acrylic block, you guys, for like your stamps, clear stamps, cling stamps, whatever you have. And then you can use your finger or an ink applicator or whatever, or you can just simply dip your edges in here. And it kind of gets rid of any of that extra area that didn't trim around. So it kind of helps you. Ink is a good way to hide those little things like that. Not really imperfections, but things that didn't go quite as you had hoped. So if you didn't get in there with a fussy cut or you weren't able to tear around in there, just add some ink. It really will fix it up. Just look like it was supposed to be that way. And again, I mean, I already just cleaned up and now I'm messy again, but I really like to get into my art. I make a mess, I have fun. And if you don't, that's okay too. You know, wear some gloves if that's what you want to do. Use a paintbrush, use a dauber, whatever. I was always kind of a hands-on girl. My mom was constantly telling me, don't touch that. Don't touch that. Keep your hands to yourself. Don't touch that. Ugh. All right. Just keep going around the edge here. Now, on those ones on the front of my book, I did add some brads in there, and you can do that here if you want to. I don't think I'm going to because I don't want it to be too bumpy. It's going to be right inside the book, and I want to be able to see the shakery things, and I don't want it to have anything else to wear on that. And I just realized this one here is really white in the center. We're just going to take some little bit of this and just kind of dull that down just a little bit. Like I said, not that white is bad, but my colors in this book are mostly cream. So, and you will find a lot of junk journalers really fade out that white. They'll put inks and all kinds of whatever else. So, okay, so I have 2 pieces of cardstock here. Hopefully, gonna fit. Yeah, that one's like a tight fit. Or maybe I was meaning to use this one. I think that one fits better. This one, not so much. Okay. So these were just some leftover cardstocks from doing the cover and the back of the book. And just going to tear them down. You could use your stamp here again, that background stamp, and put it in there. I'm just gonna put it right in here. And so it just changes that white out of the center in there. And then I think it kind of helps that clock to pop a little bit. You could ink it up if you want to. You can, you know, it's your book, make it how you want. You can add some of that scripty font in there if you want to. The scripty font is another Prima stamp. It did not come in the kit, but they are available and they are relatively inexpensive, you guys. I think they're like $1.99 or something. Amazing price point. Okay, so these are going to be, one's going to go this way where this little flap is, and one is going to go this way. So keep those directions in mind as you're placing your pieces on here. And we want my fold, not the card fold. Okay, so I kind of want this over here, so, and then that puts the clock kind of right side up too. And I think we'll do that on this side. Ooh, or I could make the heavier side over here. No, I think I still want this. See, I would consider this to be the heavier side because it has more things. And usually they say like in decorators like rules or cup a bag of tricks or whatever, that the heavier things go from left to right. But for me, sometimes that doesn't always work out. Like this, I kind of like that the clock is here and then this is there. And it's kind of pointing that way, like pointing to the next thing. So those are kind of the things I look at when I'm doing things as well. Oh, Christine is tired. If you fall asleep, my friend, you can catch us on the replay. You're having to step up your kit making. Yes, because they've been selling out. They're amazing. Oh, 75 degrees and sunny. Dondi, I'm coming over. Nap time. They're always trying to guess what I did and how my hands look. Yes, I have crafter's hands, that's for sure. Mess is normal. Yes, thanks, Kathy. Good. Hey, Grace and Margie. Hey. Yeah, these envelopes are great. I've been trying to hunt them out every time I go to a thrift store or a craft store or whatever. I have been looking for them. I actually didn't really have any in my collection. I don't know, like my own house. I don't know what happened to them. Maybe we used to have some. I probably threw them out, or I don't know what, before I was really focused on junk journaling. You know, probably just one more thing taking up space. But if we can save things from going to the trash or recycling a little bit, that's nice. All right, come on, glue. So I'm just going to glue these down. You can use whatever glue you like to use. My glue is Prima glue, and it is clogged. I probably left it out too long. Let's see, we'll just use a pen here. You could also use Mod Podge or like a collage medium here as well. And just, there we go. Collage it right on in there. Now, if you get this too thick, so sometimes what I like to do, if you have a fast drying glue, don't do this. Sometimes I like to share the glue if I have two items that I am gluing at the same time, because it kind of thins that glue out, especially if it's a really thin, like this rice paper. I can kind of spread the glue out a little bit. And then hopefully you don't see as much of the glue on this side. Mulberry paper, I guess what I'm trying to tell you guys, this is rice paper, but mulberry paper especially can stain where your glue is if you just leave it in a little spot. So spreading the glue out sometimes is very beneficial. Okay, so got those all glued. I love it, love it, love it, love it. And then the little shaky bits that I'm going to put in here, like I said, we're not in the kit, but they are from White Rose Crafts, so you can pick them up there on the website. And the one that's like perfect is called, oh gosh, it's this guy's treasure. Tutankhamun's treasure. Yeah, and this one is a sample. So I think Kay put these together, and it's just beautiful, and it goes really, really well with this kit, I think. King Tut. All right, there we go. We'll just say King Tut. Yeah. I had a feeling it was something like that. All right, so now I didn't glue this paper down. We probably could, and all of our little shaky bits would be more likely to stay in the front. So I'm just going to go ahead and put a little dab of glue right on the, just kind of around. Now I said a little dab of glue. There it goes. All right. On the front. And since we're gluing this in, there's no chance of, I mean, I guess there is. I could still glue something on the back, but of putting something else, like stamping or any of that stuff on there once it's glued in there. It's just glued in there. But I think I'm okay, because I really want that clock to be kind of the focal point here. And then our little shaky bits are going to kind of fall in around. So now I glued this paper to the back side of the envelope in there, just to make sure we can see our little shaky stuff in the front. And I got glue all over me. Just wipe that glue on there. Put it all to good use. Now these were just scraps, like I said, from covering the front of my box or my outside of the book. So be sure to save your scraps. If you're not somebody who likes to save and use scraps, that's fine. But at least while you're working on a project, save them, because sometimes these little bits will save you from cutting a whole piece of cardstock. You know, if you just need 2 little squares, you don't need to use a whole 12 by 12 piece of cardstock if you have these little leftover bits. I know sometimes the organizing crafty people will tell you, don't save everything. But at least while you're working on the project, hang on to it. I probably am one that saves way too much, but you know, that's just the way it works. Okay, so now we're going to put our shaky bits in here, and let me see if I have some kind of washi tape laying around. We all usually do, right? So you can even use just Scotch tape or whatever. It's just to help seal it in a little bit. These just really, I don't know how much of it's going to be seen, and I don't really like these. These ones are coffee ones, guys. Oh, I think I have another little bucket of it. I realized I have washi tape in my craft room in like 5 different areas. Who need so much washi tape? Okay, what do we got here? Leaves and all kinds of weird things, but nothing really. All right, we're just gonna use this one, guys. It's not really like going with my design, but we can ink over those dots, and I think it'll be just fine. I don't know that it's gonna show all that much, anyways. It's mostly just to keep our sequins in there. Hi, Sharon. Okay, so I'm probably going to use about half of this in this one and half of this in the other one. You want to put a good amount, but you don't want to put so much that it won't shake. But you do want it to be seen, so just put a little bit more. And there's all kinds of fun things in here. There's golds and some turquoise, some stars. Just love it. All right, let's see. And this is a super fun way to make a shaker because you don't really have to do anything as far as like double-sided sticky foam or any of that. You don't. The pocket pouch is already created for you, which is nice. Okay, so I'm gonna put a little bit from this one into the other one because I feel like I got a little bit more in this one. And they don't have to be perfect, but I would like for each of them to be able to see just a little bit of it. I feel like this one still has a whole bunch because I poured it out. Poured it out, guys. I poured it out. Okay, I think that's fairly good. So you can see we've got our little shakery bits here. And then I'm just going to go ahead on the back. And you can put a little bit of glue just inside the lip here, which I'm going to do. That's okay. That works perfect for this. I've never actually finished a sequins or something like that before. And I didn't know I was going to use this until I saw these envelopes and went, oh, I know exactly what it's going to go for. And I know where to get some more. So I've been kind of in a weird shaker mood. It's funny, I saw some shakers on YouTube and went, oh, okay, got to bring the shakers back out. And so my one of my other junk journals that I'm making right now has a bunch of shakers in there. I sewed them, but then I thought, okay, not everybody wants to sew. So let's try some other ways to make shakers and just make it easier. And then I saw these envelopes and went, yep, those are perfect for my book right now. And then, so I just put a little bead of glue inside here. I want to make sure I can still fold on my fold line, not the other one. And I'm going to put just a little bit of washi tape over that line where it's folded just to make sure it's held in there. Ooh. She's got her sequin hookup already, guys. Okay, so we're just going to add this washi. Now you can add glue on the back of the washi or whatever if you want, but for me, it's just an added little security that my sequins are going to stay inside where I put them. Tear off that edge there. Yes. All right, girls, if you need shaker mixes, Kay is your lady. She's got the hookup. And they're so beautiful. Like I said, there's so many fun things in here. We will shake it a little bit more before we put in the book. So that's the fun part. What's a shaker without being able to shake it? Okay, so we're on my line, not the other line. And then this just goes like that. Ah, look how fun. And then this is what you're going to see when you open the book. So I think this is super cool. Loving it. Hey, hey, Jimmy Lou. We are making shakers. Aren't they fun? And we're going to go ahead and tip these in to this book here. So this one, I wanted to go on this side. So we're going to make sure when we glue this in that we use the line that I folded on. and it's just going to go right in here. Now you want to make sure if you're doing stuff like this for your folios and whatever, pay attention to the order of the way that you're putting things in. Now if I wanted this little decorative bit to show here, I might not want to put this in yet until I've got some paper here. If I don't, well, you guys can't see. So this is the bit of paper I was talking about. It's the little flip flap of that. If I want this to show, I would want to put my paper down here first. If I don't care, then I want to put it in like this. And while I wouldn't mind if it was showing, I'm going to go ahead and put it in because since this is a flip flap on the front here, I kind of want to make sure it gets a little more security, and gluing it in here and then putting paper over it is going to just secure it that much more. So we're just going to go ahead and glue it down. Okay. All right, and I want to make sure it's pulled tight to that fold that I made there. And really flatten it down. And then we'll do the other side, which is right here, and we can just kind of, I could have done it before I put the pages all in here. This one is going to flip flap right there. And these are just so much fun. Okay, so we want to make sure it's on the right crease there. It's flush to the edge. It's about the same distance as the other one. Not going to matter too much because these pages are going to be separating them, but you know, if you put, I try to put them kind of where I would think the other one should go. When you're making a junk journal, like I said, there's no rules, you guys, but there are some things that will help it go a little easier. So if you try to keep things kind of, you know, symmetrical or at least cohesive, you'll have a better look to your book at the end. Okay, so those are glued in. How fun is that? I just love that. Okay, so let's see about adding some of that beautiful scrapberry paper that we got. So we got our pages in, we worked on the cover. I'm loving the cover. Oops, I got something on there. There we go. And then we can work on covering up some of these pieces. So like this one, see, I thought that washi tape might show just a little bit. And if it shows more than what we want it to, we can always put one of those beautiful pieces of ribbon trim back there or a different washi over it, now that we know that it shows. And I think I was a little too quick to pull there. So, okay, so we're just going to be careful with that flap while it's still drying. Thanks for the hearts, guys. Loving it, loving it. All right, so let's pull out our fun papers that are in the kit. Oops, not that one. And there's so many ways you can use these papers. They are single-sided, I believe. Yep, single-sided. And which is nice because then you don't have to worry that you're missing out on something there. So I want to find a paper that's really complementary to this shaky one. Any of them really would be great. Ooh, look at this one. This is fun. It's got lots of gears and bits on the sides here. I love that. Loving that. Okay, and the other thing we need to do is make sure that the edge of our paper is the right size, because if that is one that hangs out, we want to deal with that now. So I think for this one, I'm just going to tear it down. But like I said, actually, maybe I'll fold it in. Yeah, I think I'm just going to fold it in. I'm just going to fold it in, guys, and we'll make a little lip on the back. So let's scooch a little more into frame. Oops, and then knock you guys all around, sorry. Okay, so if you fold it over like this, you just want to make sure you get a nice crease, and you have a couple of options here. You can just leave it as like a flap, and there are some beautiful papers to cover this style of flap in this Scrapberry collection. I was just looking at one. Where'd it go? This one. So look at these little clocks. These would fit perfect over here. In fact, I think that's what's going to happen. I love that. Okay, so let's just go ahead and tear this down. And then once you've got your book to this state, it is so much fun because basically you just need to go in and decide where you want some pockets, what you want your papers to look like. Little tiny baby Leon is doing good. He made it today. I think today is day 14. I haven't checked on him today, but yesterday was day 13. So the power of prayer or positive energy or whatever it is working, you guys. He's still going to have surgery because he was a nano preemie once he survives all this stuff. But you wouldn't believe the things his family went through just to have children. So I was just gutted for her when there was all these problems. She spent like the last month of her pregnancy in the hospital, like just trying to do everything right. And so I normally don't ask for prayers for friends and that, but there's that felt like something I could do, and that was all that I could do. So yeah, she's been through a lot. She posted a meme the other day, and it was like one of those moments, like it's a Barbie doll, and it says a picture of the Barbie doll all perfectly dolled up before kids, and she's like all beautiful and pretty, and then it says with kids, and the hair's like in one of those mom buns, and like, you know, she looks a little rough, and then it says NICU mom, and the hair's just all crazy, and I can't even imagine. Yeah, it's a lot. Okay, and then this paper also has, this is such a great paper, but doing this piece right here, we're going to save all these little bits. So doing this piece right here also allows for us to put some of that beautiful ribbon right here if we want to as well. So, and then this is just another little element of your book, so it'll do a little flip-flap there. Oh, thank you guys. Yeah, they definitely need all the positive energy and well wishes sent their way. Okay, so let's get some ink on this. And guys, speaking of babies, I get to go see baby Isabella's, I think it's going to be one of her last ultrasounds on the 28th. I'm so excited. That is going to be my grandbaby, my first one. So super excited for that. All right, we're just going to put some ink here too all around. Now you don't have to ink your pages. I think it fits perfectly with this style of book. But you can just enjoy the beauty of the pages themselves as well. There's nothing wrong with that. But I will go through and probably ink and splatter and all kinds of whatever on these pages before this book. I will consider it done. So, yep. Her due date is April 22nd, but they're thinking that this is my daughter's baby. They're thinking she may be induced a week or so early. They're not sure yet. So, okay. And so also right here, when you're putting this style of paper, like I said, you can kind of decide some things ahead of time of what you want to do. We could put some ribbon underneath these little tabs and make a little tie right here and hang some cute little tags or charms from it. There are some beautiful charms that come in our kit. So let's maybe do that. Let's get a little piece of ribbon and I'll show you guys what I mean. Have to find what I did with them. So some of this stuff, guys, I really make up as I work. I just kind of try to get everything that I have in my head, like no. I try to keep in mind all of the pieces that come with the kit and know what I have to use and what I want to use. So when I'm working on other projects, I will set some things out and be like, okay, I want to use these things. Ooh, we have these fun little buckles too. Somewhere. Okay. All right, so there was some other ribbons too, but I really am loving this green. And the green is here, and it's kind of a little bit of everywhere. So I'm going to go ahead and use this green. And if you don't want to use ribbon the whole width of this, you don't have to. Like, you can just simply grab a piece like this, tuck it in to glue, and we can even tape it to the back or just glue it right to the back right here, and then let it come around. And then we'll do the same thing over here. And then that would just make like a little band, but we could cut it in half and then tie it. Oh, you have great-grandchildren. How fun. Okay, so we could just do, let's just do two at one time. I got like a million things going through my head of what we could do with just this one little piece of ribbon. How's that? So many different ways you can do it. And you could, let's just staple this at the top. I think that will be great, and it will add some other color and texture. My staples I'm working with right now are gold. And if you don't have colored staples, you can, you know, leave them silver, or you can color them with alcohol ink or an alcohol marker. So I love that. Just gives a little more texture and feel there. Okay, then I am going to use my scissors. Where did they go? Scissors. I work in complete chaos, guys. I'm so sorry if that drives any of you crazy. I know. Here we go. Just use these ones. I know that drives some people nuts. They have to keep a very tidy and clean and whatever workspace, and I just don't work well like that. Okay, so now we have this one piece just stapled here. Yay! Yeah, the staplers don't have to be anything fancy. You can use just a plain old, this is just a plain old stapler. I have the Tim Holtz Tiny Attacher as well, and I love that for certain things. Okay, so we're just going to leave a little bit there, and we're going to go ahead and flip this down, and we'll staple. And the back of these staples are not going to show because we're going to cut them off. So now see, here's what I was trying to say. Like, you could leave the ribbon go all the way around, but we don't need to do that because that's just kind of a little waste of ribbon. And anything like this, so that keeps this much ribbon out of the book, which means we get ribbon to use somewhere else, but it also means it's a little less bulk for your book. So any of those things you can do to bulk down your book. Bulk down your book. Wow, I don't know what kind of English I'm speaking today, guys, but hopefully you know what I mean. If you can keep the bulk down, you'll have a less chance of having one of those big gatory books, or at least a little less gatory book. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and put this in here. And this is such a fun part because this is, once you start getting all of these elements actually in the book, it's when it just starts all coming together and just looking so beautiful. And I'm so excited to see it. So we can tie this here and just leave it in like a little knot. We could use one of these buckles that comes in our kit. And also in our kit was these beautiful charms. Yeah, my books are usually always gatory as well. That's why I try to do, you know, simple things like that does cut down a little bit of bulk. Every little bit counts when you're getting to the end and you realize you've put a lot in there. And usually I try to remind myself that I don't need to put every single page in there. I really love this one, and we could put it right at the bottom. Now you can use a jump ring, but since we have this ribbon here, I think, and these are nice big holes for these charms, and they just come right through, I think. There we go. And now if you want it to be more dangly, use a jump ring. If you want it to stay more in place, it will just hang, it will just sit right there. Look how cute that is. Let me show you. So it just will sit right there at the bottom of our page and not cause any trouble, I hope. There we go. All right. So these little buckles you can use in many ways as well. You can ink them, you can paint them, you can spray them, you can leave them like they are because they're little pearls. I am going to ink them up because that's what I do. And you can see it just kind of takes the shine off the pearl. Now, if you don't like that, just leave them bright and pearly, and that's fine. You can bring your pearly whites, and they'll be great. Hopefully my buckling skills are up to par today. We'll see. Now you could also write a little secret message right here. Just like this, you can write a little message in there. No worries, Kay. I am a good crafter to just kind of go with the flow. And then, let's see. How do I want to do this? Let's pull this one in. This one I didn't make very long, which is probably okay. Okay, so this one we could make go this way and just staple it right there. In fact, you could do that on both sides so you don't see the pearls a whole lot, and then it won't be able to open or close. If I put that one back through, then it's going to pull the other one out. What do I want to do here? I think I might just leave it like that, you guys. I actually kind of like it like that. So you can just put a little bead of glue right here, and then it does show the green side. You can use hot glue too, or even those glue dots, I think would hold it. Just make sure while you're pulling it, you're not pulling it so hard that it's gonna buckle. Haha, we're using a buckle and we don't want it to buckle. How funny is that? All right, sorry guys. Yeah, time for Shonna to drink another drink of coffee. My goodness. Okay. And this one, I'm just going to pull. Now, if you haven't ever used buckles before, definitely give them a try because they are so fun. I mean, look at just this fun, whoops, this fun little touch that we've got here. I might have to like pin that just so it can dry. And we haven't even worked on a full page yet. This is just a little flip. There we go. Okay, so we're going to hold that one right there. You hold still. I know, right? Super bad. And you can fold this back around too if you want. You can, I don't know, you could put a little gem, or you could even hang another charm right there. I am just going to cut it and glue it like the other one. Just like that. And then save this little piece because it could make a cute little tab at the end. Use all those little pieces of ribbon. My mother-in-law really likes the punny jokes, like really bad ones. Like I don't even know if they qualify as dad jokes because they're just that bad. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. Did this dry? Yes, it did. Okay. And if you want to sew, you could just sew a couple stitches. Even if you wanted to hand sew, you could sew. Oh, it didn't stay. All right, here. We got to clip it. I may have to wind up doing either a stitch or a little bit of some hot glue. But either way, this is so cute. I love it. Okay, there we go. We got some paper in the book. Like some of these beautiful decorative papers. We've already used some sequin mix. We've used our rice paper. We've used a cute little charm. What else do we have going here? So this one, we could put it this way under here and make like a pocket. You can slide stuff in, or you can make a pocket at the top. Or we could save this and use it this way. I kind of do really like it right there though, because I think it goes with that paper, but we're gonna maybe save that one for when this is dry. Let's see. Another good tip when you are working in your journals. So we've got 12 pages of this Scrap Berries paper, which is plenty, but it's awesome you know, it would be easy to run out. So, I mean, we could cut this in half and use the halves on the pages. We can keep some of them whole if we want to. Some of them we can use just some of the beautiful strip design and make some fun little pockets. But a really good idea is to put one in the front signature and then switch to the back and put one somewhere else. You know, we could fold this down and do the same little thing, but with a different paper. Oh, look at this one. This one might be fun on that edge. Could put this fun little thing right here. I think we might need a little bigger flap if we do that. That's because it has this guy on there. He's kind of cool. So let's do this one kind of a bigger flap. It's going to be kind of a little bit weird because it is the front of our signature. Actually, you know what? No, let's do it on this side. I think I'm going to do it on black because I'm going to fold this part way in half. We could even just fold it all the way down. Let's see. We'll put this guy in here, and then we can put some of that beautiful mulberry paper behind it. So this will just be like, this little guy has his own little place here, and he's going to be sideways, but that's okay. All right, so I'll make sure we got this nice and straight, or at least as straight as I can. Anyways, did I finish my thought? Sometimes it's good to work one page in the front of the signature, the front signature, one page in the back signature. Even if you just have one, it's kind of still good to go from back to front, and kind of, you know, just kind of vary it so that way you don't run out of supplies and you don't run out of steam, because sometimes we get a little tired and then our books, you get to the back and it's like womp, womp, womp. And the back is the last impression that people have of your work. So, you know, or it's the last piece you look at. So I try to work on the front and the back, and I always try to save something. Well, I normally say grandiose for the center signature. So just, you know, keep those things in mind. Those are like the trifectas of the book. Now, this has a cool little ruler, and I don't want to lose that, but I do want to trim just a little smidgen of this off, so it's torn on both edges and it fits a little better. You never finished. What didn't you finish, Christine? Sleeping? Or a book? Or you just don't finish the back of your book? Sometimes that happens too. It's really easy to make things up in the middle, so that's why I always try to flip around a little bit. It does make me look like I'm kind of unorganized, but there is a purpose to my madness. Most of the time. You never finish anything. It is sometimes hard, especially when there's so many beautiful things out there. You know, you'll start, oh my gosh, this is the most beautiful paper. I've got to make something out of that. And then you've started working on it, and then next week somebody else comes out with beautiful paper, and oh my goodness, you've got to make something with that. And that's why I find myself right now, I've got my hands in over 20 different books. So, yeek. All right, so I've ripped this down where I think it's going to be good. And then we're going to pull out some more of that beautiful mulberry paper. I think I want to do green. Oh, thank you. They're just a light sheer pink. And you can tell I've been crafting, because the minute I start crafting, the nail polish just comes right off. But yes, look at this green. It's so beautiful. And this is in your kit, if you have the junk journal kit. And if you don't, I think the mulberry paper is available for purchase separately. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I like to work with my mulberry paper with water. So I'm going to spritz along the top of where I want it to rip. I said spritz. You don't want to soak it, because you can see it does get just a little bit flimsier. So you just have to be more careful. But it does help it tear, and it does help the fibers just come right apart. You can just use a wet paintbrush and kind of pull along too, if you don't like to spritz. Yeah. Some people create rules. They have an order, and that's good. There's also like finished it Friday. Try to finish something on Friday, even if it's just like one page of your book. Finish one piece of it. Finish something. So it does get easily. You can be very easily distracted in paper crafting for sure. Okay, so. But it is really a great feeling when you get all the way done with the book and you're like, look, I made this. This is amazing. All right. So now that piece I got a little bit too wet. That's okay. I'm going to go ahead and peel off the sides over here. Let's see, this one. And then this one. There we go. So then that will just sit right behind our little guy. Now we don't really necessarily have to glue this. I'm just going to put glue in a couple little spots because we're going to glue all over here and stick it right on the top. And I guess I should have left just a little bit more. We can lean it more to one side so we can see it more. Ooh, I think I like it like that actually. So I was kind of tearing it to fit the paper, but really what I needed to do was tear it to fit so it would hang over this paper. I can maybe tear a little bit more here. I don't want to lose the umbrella though. I like the umbrella. The umbrella's kind of fun and neat. There we go. That looks kind of fun. Yeah, then it's like over the edge up here and more over the edge over here. Okay. And we're going to get rid of this white edge. Right, and then we'll glue. And you could, I'm not going to because I'm using the mulberry paper, but you could very easily put like a little notch in here or even just a tuck spot and put something behind it. This one for me is just one to look at because I don't want to be tucking things in where this mulberry paper is. So I'm just going to put just a little glue here at the top and maybe a little in the middle and a little at the end here. And then it will get more glued down with this top piece. So you have to remember that mulberry paper is a little bit fragile. I mean, it's not that delicate. I mean, you can tear it after all, but it is easy to tear apart. And sometimes that's what you want, and sometimes that's not what you want. So there we go. Ooh, I think that looks cool. All right. Just put some extra glue here. Make sure we're not gluing over the edge. All right, and then once I'm done, I'll probably put some more of the Nuvo drops around here on the clock and make it be kind of shiny. Maybe some on the umbrella just to give it a little pop of something. But look how lovely that mulberry paper looks with this black cardstock and this colored paper. I love it. And then this will flap open. We can put a little pocket or something in there if we want to. All kinds of fun things. And look, I got glue and mulberry paper and ink. Can't take me anywhere, guys. Now, all these little scraps of mulberry paper that we just created by tearing, save those because they are great for tucking under things and just adding a little pop of color and texture to the rest of your book somewhere else. So, okay. We will do one more thing and then we'll call it a stopping point for today because there is just so many fun things that we could just keep doing. I could keep working all day. But I'm sure you guys have other things to do today. Okay, so that's in the second signature. Now usually I will flip back and I'm going to want to make sure that this is not going to get ruined. And you know, you can always glue this like where you want it to go. If like, see that little piece just ripped, we can just glue it right back in there. But I want to make sure my book is functional. Functionality is, you know, key. It has to function, has to open and close. Okay. All right, so we can do a bigger page with one of these full sheets. Make sure I get it right side up. This one's really cool. I love this. And now we've got a couple of different ways we can go here. We can make a pocket at the top. We can make a pocket at the side. We can cut this down just a little bit. Let's see. I think I'm going to cut it down either way and just save a little strip. Is this black the right size? It's always what I need to double check with my pages because I didn't cut them down to size. So I just need to make sure it's the right size. And it's not. It's a little bit too big. This one I think I'm just going to go ahead and tear so we get some good variety. How's everybody doing? Are you still with me? All right, I think that's going to be good. Then we can make this one be torn up here too. And we can make it a side tuck pocket. Perfect. Let's put some ink on that edge. All right, still here. Awesome. Thanks, Roberta. Yeah, this one's been super fun to work with. I love getting a kit and seeing what I can do with it, seeing what all kinds of fun elements there's going to be, what I can incorporate. Loving it. And Kate did a really good job of coordinating these colors. These are just really awesome, like steampunk, patina, rusty, just fun. And even if you're not into any of those things, you can still just make it, you know, beautiful. So we can make this just slide right here. We don't even really have to do like a tuck out, like a notch. We can just leave it like it is. I think that looks really great. So I'm going to go ahead and glue the two sides and the bottom piece, hopefully without gluing my fingers. Now I made these fun little paper clips. They're just a paper clip with a piece of fabric. And I have some green fabric. You could easily do this with ribbon too, the ribbon from the kit. So maybe we'll make one with a ribbon here real quick, and then we'll just clip that on here, and it'll be a little something for this page. She really does. She really does. She's They are exactly that. They are just buckles, and I've got mine drying over here, but I bet they're probably dry. They're kind of like a belt buckle. You can use them in so many ways. You can put your ribbon through them and then glue them on. You can use them as a buckle, like I did on the page here. Yeah, so many fun things you can do. Okay, paper clip. Let's do a paper clip. Let's see. These are the ones that I haven't used. No, Remy. Sorry if you guys hear my dog. Okay, so we've got just a scrap of this ribbon and a regular old paper clip, nothing fancy. Ribbon buckle sliders, yes. So anywhere that you put your ribbon, you could slide one of those buckles on. Make sure we have a little bit more ribbon here. Okay, so the more room you give yourself with these little paper clip ribbons, the more ribbon you give yourself, the easier it will be. But if you're frugal like me, I don't like to waste any of it. So anyway, so I've just got it folded in half, put it through here, and then put your finger in the little notch and pull it through. pull those two little tails right through, just like that. And then you can kind of straighten out, if you've got a pattern on your ribbon, kind of straighten them out. And then what this does is it just clips right on anywhere in your journal and makes a fun little pop of color and texture and just something extra. Then you can cut these too so that they're not so just twanging out there. But there we go. That's about the length I like them. You can leave them longer or shorter, whatever is your preference. You can use bigger or smaller paper clips. Then on these paper clips, you can also hang charms. So lots of fun things there. I've seen people put beads and then they curl the end, so that will work too. Whatever you have to incorporate in your journal, you definitely can. So guys, we did some good work today. We got our pages in the book. We made some little shakers out of these DVD pockets. We made a fun little edge of the page here with our ribbon and our buckle. We added a charm. We've done some paper clips. What else did we do? Oh, we used that beautiful mulberry paper that I just love, love, love so much. I especially love these colors. These colors are just amazing. So I hope you had some fun today, and I hope you're looking for some kind of a noodle box or something fun to start making your own book with your kit. So definitely check back with us next week. I've got some things I wanted to add to my Notre Vie book, but we are, into this book too. This one's just so much fun. I'm loving this one too. So can't say enough about these papers and products and how much fun it is to play with. And I hope you guys are going to enjoy your kit and do something fun with it as well. I can't wait to see. You can always post in the White Rose Crafts Gallery group the things that you're working on from your projects and your kits and your beautiful papers from White Rose Crafts. So you guys have a really great rest of your day and rest of your week. I can't believe it's already Wednesday. Where does the time just go? I can't believe it's March. Whew. So, and the color, there's a new color of the month because we're in a new month. So the new color, I think it's yellow. So if you are following along the little prompts in the White Rose Crafts Gallery group, definitely post some things. I think it was like, Kay, help me out here. What is it called? Where's the sunshine or something like that? We are hoping to bring on the sunshine. So post your yellow things. Oh, good. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it and are having fun. This is just such a beautiful kit. And guys, when you start with beautiful things, it's really hard not to make something beautiful out of it. There we go. Here comes the sun. That's the phrase I was looking for. So yeah, definitely check out the prompts in the White Rose Crafts Gallery. We are trying to make everybody have some fun in there and be a little more interactive. So if you haven't checked out the gallery, it's just another group. Scroll through, and not just another group, but it's like other groups is what I meant. Like it's a normal group. You can scroll through and see what people are posting and enjoy the prompts and post your own things too. That's what makes it fun. Everybody wants to see what we're working on. So, all right, you guys have a really great day, and I will see you next week here on White Rose Wednesdays.